I now call upon Grace Trustee S.N. Balasubramanian, who is a college mate of Venkatakrishnan and is associated as strategist and mentor with Heavenly Fuel Private Limited, to introduce our presiding officer, Mr. R. Seshasai. SNB, as we call him, was working under Mr. R. Seshasai as the Chief Executive Officer of Automotive Coaches and Components, an associate company of Ashok Leyland. Over to you, SNB.
Happy evening to one and all. Pardon my foolhardiness in attempting to showcase the luminous sun with the aid of a tiny oil lamp. Yes, introducing a person of Mr. Seshasai's eminence to this august gathering would tantamount to nothing but recklessness. Nevertheless, let me try. R. Seshasai, a chartered accountant, started his career with Hindustan Lever in 1971. He joined Ashok Leyland in 1976, rose to become its managing director in 1998. He became the executive vice chairman of Ashok Leyland in 2011 and was non-executive vice chairman until July 2016. Great leaders don't set out to be a leader. They set out to make a difference. It is never about the roles, always about the goals. So it is no wonder that Seshasai led Ashok Leyland's transformation into a self-reliant, globally competitive technology leader, seeking growth through globalization and diversification via acquisitions and joint ventures. He also led the company to embrace the tenets of sustainable development and environmental protection. During his tenure as managing director from 1998 to 2011, Ashok Leyland's turnover increased 5 times from rupees 2,005 crores to 12,093 crores, net profit 30 times and market cap 14 times. I repeat, 5 times increase in turnover, 30 times increase in net profit and 14 times increase in market cap. Sesh was also the chairman of IndusInd Bank from 2007 till August 2019. During this period, market cap of the bank increased. Please hold your breath. I repeat, the market cap of the bank increased by 53 times. He served on the board of ICICI from 1997 to 2003. He served on the board of Infosys Limited from 2011 to 2017 and was the chairman from June 2015 to August 2017. Presently, Sesh serves on the board of Asian Paints Limited. A genuine leader is not a searcher of consensus, but a molder of consensus, said Martin Luther King, and Seshasai fits the bill like a glove. Sesh was the president of Confederation of Indian Industry during 2006-07 and has been over 30 years. He was the president of Society of Indian Automobile Manufacturers, SIAM, the apex body representing the Indian automobile industry during 2003 to 2003. Sesh has served on several government and professional committees. As a member of Government of India delegations, Seshasai was an active participant at the Doha Ministerial Round of WTO in 2001, the Hong Kong Ministerial at Hong Kong in 2005. Seshasai was also the co-chair of the World Economic Forum Middle East during 2007. He has served as the chairman of the board of governors of the National Institute of Technology, Trichy, and as the chairman of the Indian Institute of Information Technology Design and Manufacturing. He is presently the chairman of the executive committee of Kriya University. He is the corporate advisor of the Hinduja Group. Sesh is the chairman of the executive council of the Cancer Institute, Chennai, president of Schizophrenia Research Foundation, SCORF, and vice president of the Miss Academy, Chennai. He has won many honors and recognition, including the Star of Indian Solidarity Award by the Italian government, Sir Jahangir Gandhi Medal for Industrial and Social Peace by XLR Jamshedpur, and the Lifetime Achievement Award by the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. Horst Sage is a human leader. He is articulate and affable. The essence of great leadership is influence and not authority, and Mr. Seshasai is an epitome of this trait. I am proud that I spent major part of my career under his benevolent tutelage. இந்திய சுதந்திர போராட்ட வீரர்களின் குடும்ப பின்னணியுடைய சேஷ் அவரது தாயார் வசுமதி ராமசாமியிடமிருந்து எழுத்து ஆற்றலையும் தந்தை ராமசாமி அவர்களிடமிருந்து சங்கீத ஞானத்தையும் கற்றார். சேஷசாயி தமிழிலும் ஆங்கிலத்திலும் மிக சிறப்பாக எழுத வல்லவர். மகாராஜபுரம் சந்தானம் அவர்களிடம் கர்நாடக இசையை பயின்றவர். காஞ்சி மகாசாமிகளிடம் மிகுந்த பக்தி கொண்டவர். சேங்காலிபுரம் அனந்தராம தீட்சிதரிடம் சரஸ்வதி மந்திர உபதேசம் பெற்ற இவரது நாவின் வாக்தேவி கலைமகள் குடியிருப்பதை இப்போது காண இருக்கின்றோம். வருக.
Thank you, SNB. We now call upon Mr. Seshasai to deliver the presidential address. Mr. Seshasai.
Yeah, mute.
Sir, you have to unmute yourself, sir. You are on mute.
Mute, sir.
Yeah, good evening. I'm deeply grateful to SNB for giving me this opportunity to be a part of this wonderful function. Having heard about Giridhar, I'm truly inspired. I've often thought when we read in Bhagavad Gita that the Lord appears whenever there is a preponderance of evil in the world. Dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. It doesn't really mean that God takes an avatar with 4 arms, with Shankam Chakram and all of that. I think it's a metaphor to say that when there is evil, there is always a balance in nature. Goodness appears. Goodness appears through people who are touched by the divine. And I think this is true when there is pain. Succor appears in the form of human beings who mitigate this pain. When I hear about Giridhar, this wonderful person, to me, it's only a manifestation. It's another avatar. He has been the representation of divinity to offer succor to the pain. And it's no wonder, therefore, he had this vision of disease-free world. It's so apt that on an Independence Day, the Freedom Day, that he took not only leave of us, but we are talking about freedom and amidst COVID, which is a kind of a pandemic that the world has never seen in the past. We're talking about freedom from disease. What a visionary this young man has been. It's not about how many years you live. It's about how purposeful the life has been. And I must say that this wonderful person's parents have really understood their mission in life in carrying forward his vision. And therefore, it's not a surprise that Grace has come into being to realize the vision of this extraordinary young person. I think we heard this very enlightening lecture from Dr. Darshan Shankar. There's nothing that I can add to what he has already said. I'm not a health professional. I'm not an expert on health matters. And this kind of profundity of his thoughts are truly striking. And listening to him, expound his three ideas, I thought I'll just take on from those three ideas to look at what perhaps could be the agenda for GRACE going forward with a complementary set of three suggestions, if I may. I'm taking the liberty of saying this, although that I do believe that I'm a complete novice to even follow the very profound thoughts of Dr. Darshan Shankar. The first, I think, is this shift, move from illness to wellness, the focus shift from illness to wellness. Now, that's getting to be pretty clear in the midst of the COVID situation. Although that we have seen very large number of cases in India, for whatever reason, the fatality rates in India and in the South Asian countries has been significantly lower than what we've seen in the Western world. Perhaps there is something to do with what we call the innate immunity. It is getting to be quite clear that while vaccine is seen to be a solution for this, perhaps a more enduring solution is to be able to develop this immunity, whatever has caused that immunity, to be able to develop the immunity against such diseases. COVID is not the first pandemic. We've had pandemics in the past. Certainly there have been epidemics, at least this is the fifth large epidemics in the 21st century. And this won't be, unfortunately, the last pandemic either. There's no guarantee that there'll be no further pandemics. So rather than focusing on the treatment for that, perhaps even medical sciences will have to think increasingly of building immunity, isolating the factors that have contributed to better immunity of one part of the world as compared to another part of the world. Perhaps there is something genetic, perhaps there is something behavioral, something which has been, which is environmental, but I think it is certainly worth looking at what has contributed to better innate immunity. And if it is that which needs to be strengthened, clearly from all that we know, Ayurvedic system focuses exactly on that, to develop an innate immunity against diseases which cannot be foreseen. And therefore, shifting from illness to wellness, which contributes to innate immunity, could well be an agenda for going forward. This is not to mean that the center that you have currently today for treating illnesses, the wonderful work that you are doing, we have seen the testimonials, all of that is irrelevant. Certainly they are relevant. Certainly that this would make a huge contribution to the mitigation of illnesses in the locality in which they operate. But even more valuable could perhaps be the shift from illness focus to wellness focus. And that could inform the agenda of the institution. That's the first submission. The second following that is that if indeed we need to have the wellness as the focus, it also follows that we need a number of evangelists in order to make a difference in the lifestyles, in the eating habits, in living habits. In order to make an impact, this needs to be evangelized and this needs to be taken forward at a mass level. I don't know whether a mass personalization, even in the case of wellness, would be as critical as in the case of treating illness. Perhaps it is, but perhaps less so. And perhaps it is possible, therefore, to devise methods of developing wellness through mass personalization, perhaps using technology tools, including AI and so on, and to be able to take this message to several thousand homes, to several thousand children, to several thousands of families, so that wellness and therefore which contributes to innate immunity gets developed in a community or in a society. What that particular exercise will need in terms of developing people, training people, getting this to be the right kind of, what would be the right kind of medium for dissemination of this information and knowledge, what would be the kind of organizational arrangement for doing that. That's something which certainly would need a lot of thought and work, but that might be a good second agenda to take forward this wonderful thought that Dr. Shankar left with us. And the third thing that, again, if I may say, is integration of different systems of medicine. He talked about integrating the various systems of medicine in the treatment of diseases. Some chronic diseases, for example, can only be treated by Ayurvedic treatment. Some which require surgery can only be done through the allopathic treatment and so on. But similarly, can there be a research in terms of looking at how do we integrate various different disciplines in terms of wellness itself? While I have certainly understood the relevance of integration for treatment of illnesses, I haven't heard whether there is a possibility in the scope for integrating different treatments, different systems of health development. I won't call it treatment, it's a systems of health development, in integrating those for wellness. So that could again be a new area of research. That could be perhaps a good stepping stone for integrating even with regard to illness. As I said, I'm not an expert, but it occurs to me that would be a wonderful way of finding a niche for this organization and to take forward the excellent, outstanding thoughts that Dr. Shankar has left with us. Once again, I want to thank the family and my friend Balu for giving me this a very unique opportunity of getting to know about an extraordinary person who lived amongst us, a young man who had the audacity to think. It is truly audacious to think about a disease-free world, but it takes it requires a leader to have this audacious thinking. And he was truly a leader much beyond his age, much beyond his times. And I think it's commendable that the family has given shape to his dream, taking this forward. And I'm happy that I've had this opportunity to learn and to be a part of this wonderful function. Thank you very much.